to Southern Home Building, Blueprint for Energy. I'm Bruce Dueck, Chief of the Energy Conservation Division of the Jacksonville Electric Authority in Jacksonville, Florida. We've designed this 5-part series to help you, the new home buyer or builder, construct a home that contains those energy-saving features that give you the greatest return on your investment. The best time to include these energy-saving features is during the planning phases of construction. Energy features left out or not considered during the early stages can often not be added later at reasonable cost. When choosing energy features, the climate where you're building must also be considered. The information in this series is for the hot, humid region shown in green on this map, all of Florida and the coastal regions from southern South Carolina to Texas. In this program, you'll learn how to choose an energy-efficient water heater. We'll also show you some other excellent energy-saving ideas for water heating. The last part of this program deals with windows. We'll sit in on a JEA workshop on building energy-efficient homes to hear from Philip Wemhoff. Mr. Wemhoff, who teaches the workshop, is a licensed builder who's been involved in energy-efficient construction for a number of years. He'll be giving you the tools needed to choose the windows that will be right for your new home. Let's get started with what you need to know about choosing energy features for your home.
Water heating is one of the largest energy users in the home. It is responsible for as much as 17% of all energy consumed. This is as much as an average house in North Florida uses for space heating for the entire winter. For water heating, homeowners have several choices. Generally, natural gas is the best energy bargain for water heating. But if natural gas is not available, a super-insulated, energy-efficient electric water heater is the best choice in this climate region. Although the manufacturers of many water heaters claim energy efficiency, the only sure way to know is to find the energy factor. The energy factor is the energy rating given to almost all water heaters by GAMA, the Gas Appliance Manufacturers Association. This number cannot be found on the water heater itself, so ask the salesman or call your local utility for the energy factor. What is a good energy factor? For an electric water heater, the desired energy factor falls between 0.90 and 0.96 or higher. The higher the number, the more efficient the water heater. For a gas model, look for an energy factor between 0.58 and 0.61 or higher. Other available water heating systems include an electric instantaneous water heater. Also referred to as a demand or tankless water heater, it is basically a large inline heating element. Instantaneous water heating systems for the whole house are not good investments because they usually cost more than a super-insulated tank system. The small savings are not great enough to compensate for the cost of the 2 or more instantaneous units required in a home. Another type of water heater, liquefied petroleum or propane gas, offers no advantages over electric units since the cost of operating each is about the same. Waste heat recovery is another type of system. This system relies on the use of the home's central air conditioner. Air conditioners cool by removing some of the heat from inside the house. This heat is discarded to the outside as waste heat. A waste heat recovery unit recovers some of this heat and transfers it to the water in the water heater. The idea of using heat that otherwise would have been discarded sounds very appealing. However, studies by the state of Florida show little savings for new waste heat recovery units when repair and replacement costs are considered. In a study of older units, more than half of the waste heat recovery units actually caused energy bills to go up, not down. In order for waste heat recovery systems to be effective, certain conditions must exist. The air conditioner must run for long periods of time, preferably during the hottest part of the day. Occupants must use a great deal of hot water, and the various parts of the system must be arranged and installed correctly. Even many large families cannot meet all of these requirements. So for small families or those who use their air conditioners very little during the day, waste heat recovery is clearly not a good investment. Solar water heating, another type of system, seems to be a good idea in principle. However, installation and maintenance costs currently prevent solar water heating from being cost-effective in this climate area. A new system called a heat pump water heater is similar to the standard electric water heater, but with an attached compressor unit. The compressor unit transfers heat from the surrounding air to the water inside the tank. Although this system is inexpensive to operate, it is relatively expensive to purchase. Currently, the energy savings do not justify the extra cost. So, which of the available water heating systems is the best investment? Currently, the best investment is the super insulated electric water heater. Keep in mind, however, that in those areas where natural gas is available, a natural gas unit is a better investment. How many water heaters does a home need? Although some homes are equipped with 2 or more, one correctly sized water heater is actually more efficient. Correct sizing of the tank can be determined by performing a simple calculation. The location of the water heater has little effect on energy efficiency. The tank can be located in the garage to ease maintenance. To get hot water to those distant areas of the house without losing energy, be sure to insulate all hot water pipes under the slab and in walls and between floors. On the tank itself, be sure to insulate all pipes coming out of the water heater, not just those for hot water. Insulation is recommended for all pipes for the first 10 feet. Surprisingly, of all the devices sold to reduce water heating bills, the best investment today is the low-flow shower head. A true low-flow shower head delivers approximately 2 gallons of water per minute while giving the same quality shower as the typical 4 to 6 gallon per minute shower head. This means that a low-flow shower head can cut the amount of water used in a shower by as much as 66%. With one 7-minute shower a day, a $15 low-flow shower head can save over $24 each year. With 2 daily showers, the savings double to $48, equal to the savings produced by a properly operating $300 to $500 waste heat recovery unit. Low-flow shower heads save on your energy bill and your water bill. And when the sewer bill is based on water consumption, low-flow shower heads save even more. In addition, low-flow shower heads require very little maintenance. Another major energy-consuming appliance is the refrigerator. Refrigerators use 10 to 15% of all energy used in the home, more than the lighting, washers and dryers, stoves, ovens, or TVs. Some refrigerators use 30 to 50% less energy than other models of the same size. This means you can save from 3 to 5% on your home's total energy bill with the use of an energy-efficient refrigerator. Check the yellow Energy Guide label to find the energy ranking. Shop and compare. You may find that an energy-saving refrigerator even costs less to purchase. A complete list of refrigerators and freezers with estimated energy consumptions is available from the Association of Home Appliance Manufacturers at a nominal cost. The January edition of the Directory of Refrigerators and Freezers ranks these appliances by energy use. Another important decision to be made before construction begins involves windows. What kind of windows should we buy is a question often asked at workshops on building energy-efficient homes. JEA workshop instructor Philip Wimhoff explains.
When you buy a car, you consider several things: the appearance, the mechanical condition, and the resale value. And nowadays, almost everyone's concerned about fuel efficiency. How many miles per gallon does the car get? Buying windows is very much the same. Most people consider appearance and reliability, and many people are concerned about the window's energy performance or the window's miles per gallon. But many people don't realize that there actually is a type of miles per gallon rating for windows too, so that you can compare one window to another without having to rely upon the uncertain or incorrect claims of energy efficiency. Here's how it works. For a window, there are two numbers that tell us the miles per gallon, and these numbers are available from glass manufacturers and window manufacturers. The two numbers are the shading coefficient and the R value. It's important to know what these numbers mean because they will allow you to compare one window type to another, just as you compare the fuel efficiencies of different automobiles. Now take a look at your handouts. We're going to use the example of a double pane tinted window to explain how to determine the energy efficiencies of windows. The first number you see, 0.78, is the shading coefficient. The shading coefficient is a very important number because it tells us the energy saving ability of the window during the summertime, the very costly air conditioning season. The shading coefficient tells us how well the glass resists the flow of radiant heat through the window. Radiant heat is the type of heat that travels in rays of sunlight, and the smaller the shading coefficient number, the smaller the amount of radiant heat that can get through the glass. In this example, double pane tint glass has a shading coefficient of 0.78. And single pane clear glass has a shading coefficient of 1. So double pane tint glass, because it has a much smaller shading coefficient, will let much less heat pass through it, resulting in less heat that has to be removed by the air conditioner and therefore smaller air conditioning bills. In fact, tint glass is so much better than clear glass at reducing the amount of heat coming into the home that it gives the home buyer some options. The first option, the home buyer either can take a substantial reduction in air conditioning bills, a savings as great as having twice the amount of wall insulation that's standardly installed in a home, or option two, the home buyer can add about 20% more glass to the house compared to a house with clear glass and have no increase or decrease in energy use. Different types of glass have different shading coefficients, just as different models of automobiles have different gas mileage ratings. For example, reflective tint glass has a smaller and therefore better shading coefficient than both clear glass and tint glass, only 0.42. Reflective tint's shading coefficient of 0.42 is less than half of that for clear glass. So less than half the heat will get through it compared to clear glass. Therefore, reflective tint glass, because of its low shading coefficient, is one of the best passive energy savers for the home. Double pane clear windows are quite popular throughout the United States, but in the sunny southeast, single pane tint and single pane reflective tint windows are nearly as good an energy investment. And single pane windows offer one advantage over double pane windows. Because only one layer of glass is used in the single pane tint or a single pane reflective tint window, there is no sealed double pane unit into which moisture can leak, causing the glass unit to fog and thus requiring replacement. Something which can happen, although rarely, to a double pane window. Now there's a second characteristic of glass that we need to consider, the R value of the window. R value, or resistance value of a material, is its ability to resist or slow down the flow of conducted heat through it, the type of heat that flows through the lid of this pot-bellied stove and into the kettle on top. Now the R values for double pane windows are about 2 times those for single pane windows. However, the R value of a window is important for energy savings in the winter only. The shading coefficient, the ability of the window to resist the passage of the sun's radiant heat, is far more important for determining the window's energy efficiency in an air-conditioned dominated climate like ours. A window might have a very great R value, but that R value will have no effect at all on stopping radiant heat, the type of heat we get from the sun in summer. After all, the R value of the vacuum between the earth and the sun is almost infinite, but the sun's radiant heat gets through easily. The new low E windows have R value ranges from 1 to 3 and slightly higher. Notice that not all low E glass is the same, that the very important shading coefficient is influenced by the type of low E coating. The soft coat low E has a lower and therefore better shading coefficient than the hard coat low E. Also, note that the shading coefficient of the better low E window is about the same as that for the double pane reflective tint glass. Both should save about the same amount of energy. Remember that the manufacturers of glass publish this data, Also ask the window seller for it. We now know that two numbers, the shading coefficient and the winter R value, will tell us which glass has the best miles per gallon or which performs the best. But is the best performer also the best investment? To analyze an investment, we have to look at two things: what the windows cost the buyer and how much money they save the buyer. Here's an example of good performance but bad investment. One of the best energy performance on the market is a double pane window with low E glass made with a soft coating. But this window is also relatively expensive. The extra cost of purchasing 200 square feet of this type of glass rather than single pane clear glass is about $3,800, for which the homeowner will have to make an extra mortgage payment totaling $380 per year. The energy saved by these better windows is $210 each year for climates like those of North Florida. But here the surprising result is that the extra mortgage payment each year for these better windows is $170 more than the windows save in energy. So the loss of $170 per year is calculated by subtracting the extra mortgage payment of $380 from the energy saved of $210. If these windows are purchased, they will cause the home buyer to lose money year after year, resulting in losses totaling $5,000 over the 30-year life of the mortgage. Also, if the actual investment rate is greater than the 10.75% we assumed here, the extra mortgage payment will become even greater and the loss even greater. Remember, an energy-saving device is a worthwhile investment only if its energy savings are greater than the extra mortgage payment it causes. The buyer of these windows might still wish to purchase them for some reason other than energy savings, perhaps for their aesthetic value, their quality, or their lengthy warranty. But they would not be a good investment based upon energy savings alone. We also used the same analysis for all the double pane window glass, clear tint, reflective tint, and low E glass, and found the best energy investment to be double pane tint glass, as long as the glass was mounted in a low-cost window. Generally, the extra cost of purchasing 200 square feet of low-cost double pane tint windows rather than single pane clear windows is about $400, for which the home buyer will have to make an extra mortgage payment totaling $40 per year. The energy savings each year by this tint glass is $110. In this case, the energy savings are greater than the extra mortgage payment by about $70. So the home buyer can expect a net savings each year of $70. And there is no waiting period for a return on this investment. Net savings begin in the first year and continue for the life of the home. And if energy prices increase, the net savings also increase. One final note about our cost analysis for these windows. Tint, reflective tint, and low E windows reduce the amount of radiant heat from the sun entering the home, so much so that a smaller and less expensive central air conditioner can be used. So in our cost analysis of low E and tint glass, we reduce the cost of the windows by the amount the windows saved on the air conditioner purchase costs. All automobile manufacturers recognize that tint glass reduces the costs of auto air conditioners by allowing them to use smaller air conditioner compressors. That is why all automobiles with factory-installed air conditioning have tint glass. The tint glass costs the manufacturers a few pennies more per automobile, but saves them many dollars per car by allowing the use of smaller air conditioners. And with the automobile engine turning a smaller, downsized compressor, better fuel efficiency and miles per gallon can be achieved. Although the technology of glass and glass prices are changing rapidly, we can say that, based upon our cost analysis, the best investments in glass are the following. Single pane reflective tint if you are planning to install single pane windows in your new home. And secondly, double pane tint glass if you are planning to use double pane windows in your home. Both types of glass should be mounted in low-cost windows. Tint glass, by the way, is tinted throughout the glass, so that the energy-saving tint cannot be washed off or damaged. However, reflective tint has a reflective coating which can be damaged. Now, regarding mounting frames, Although the mounting frames of more expensive windows usually have higher R values, these frames comprise only about 15% of the total window area, and the glass makes up the remaining 85%. So remember, always choose windows based upon the type of glass, never based upon the type of frame. The choices of single pane reflective tint and double pane tint glass were made by applying the type of cost analysis we use for low E and tint glass to all the single and double pane windows available in the Jacksonville, Florida area.
Choosing tint glass provides a number of advantages for the homeowner and the builder.
My husband and I were the principal contractors of our own home. We chose factory tint glass and couldn't be more satisfied with it. It keeps the heat out in summer, and looking out, it doesn't affect the visibility or look any different than the clear glass in our previous home. And because you can't see the tint, it didn't have any effect on the interior decorating. It also helps prevent fading of fabrics and carpeting. The tint glass allowed us to use a smaller and therefore less costly central air conditioner. Our energy bills have been 25% below the average new home of the same size.
When considering tint glass, several colors are available: gray, bronze, and green. They all save about the same amount of energy, but there is a difference. This is a view through green tint glass. It costs the same as the other tints, but it has an additional advantage. It allows more visible light to pass through than any other tint glass. This means that you get more usable light into your home, and your view of the outside is closer to clear glass. Tint films are available which can be added to clear glass to reduce the radiant heat passing through. These films are very effective and can be used safely with single pane glass. For double pane windows, tint films are usually not recommended because they may cause a heat buildup, which can damage the glass unit. However, some professional installers offer warranties against such damage. Reducing the amount of radiant heat entering the home is an important consideration in home construction in this climate area. Window shading devices like shutters, awnings, and solar screen save energy by intercepting and blocking radiant heat before it reaches the glass. This house uses Bahama shutters. Awnings can also be used to block the sun's heat. Solar screens made of heavily woven fiberglass strands block out more than half of the incoming radiant heat by entirely covering the windows. Solar screens can be used in place of regular insect screens. Should tint or low E glass be used in combination with shutters, awnings, or solar screens, or even with enclosed porches? The answer is no. Better performing glass saves very little energy when it is in the shade. Don't make an extra investment in a better performing glass if you are certain that the sunlight will be blocked before it reaches the glass. In this climate zone, where it is important to keep out the sun's heat, proper glass selection puts you on the road to energy efficiency.
The choice you make on windows will have quite an impact on your future energy bills, especially in the summer. So be sure to get the information you need to make the right decision for your particular situation. Written estimates of savings should be provided by the seller, or some utilities can provide estimates based on the local climate. Once these decisions have been made and planning is complete, construction of the home begins. And our next program will look at ways to improve energy efficiency from the ground up. I hope you'll join us then.
When I was in the process of deciding to build a home, one of my decisions was to build Norwegian brick or brick veneer. I called the JEA's Energy Conservation Office, and they mentioned a free class offered on Saturdays. The class ran from 9 until about 6. I signed up for the class and got a lot of good information about things that I could do to insulate my house well. One of the things we learned was the use of double pane green tint windows. We use those in the home, and I've been real pleased with the comfort with our electric bill in particular. We also made sure the painter did extra caulking at the windows. The doors have been weather stripped, And overall, our electric bill has been lower, and we've been very pleased with the assistance we received from JEA.
We've tried many of the practices and recommendations of this program, and we now incorporate them in all the homes that we build. We have found in many areas that we build, we've experienced increased sales over our competition due to these energy efficient values. We've also seen that buyers in the $80,000 market as well as the $180,000 market are equally interested in these energy efficient values.
This is our home, and we built it about 2 years ago, and we participated in the JEA Energy Conservation Program before we built it. It's 2 stories, about 1,700 square feet, and we've been very happy with the results of the energy program.
And our monthly JEA bills average around $65 a month.
And when we built the house, there was a little additional cost in installing the materials and buying the materials that JEA recommended. However, because the house was so energy efficient, we could downsize the air conditioning unit, and that made up for the money we spent in extra materials. We've been in the house 2 years, and I'm convinced that implementing the conservation program was the best thing we did, and I highly recommend it to anybody who's considering building a house.